Well, greetings, and we're here for another coffee tasting. But what I'm really pleased to tell you is not only are we here for another coffee tasting, we're here for a coffee tasting in the centre, well, of what we could only call a major attraction in London for anyone, which is the area of Soho, which is a beautiful area of London to go through. And really, how would you describe Soho? It's the bit that's behind Oxford Street, Regent Street, takes in a bit of Carnaby, takes in all of those sorts of areas. And I've been looking for a decent coffee shop in the Soho area, so I'm really hoping that this is going to hit the mark. Now, the amazing thing about this place is you've got this outside garden, you've got inside you can have your coffee, and it's attached to a church. Now, interestingly, the church, which is the Church of St Anne's, which we have covered in a previous video, many moons ago, and if I can remember, I'll put a link to it up in the top right hand corner. But anyway, it's attached to that, so actually coming in here, and it's called Sacred Grounds, as we shown on there. So there you go, so you've got Sacred Grounds, and that's the coffee. Now, the reason it's in a paper cup is, and they've apologised, is we've actually come in less than an hour before closing time, and it's a charity-run shop, I believe. So to reduce the work that they have to do, they've asked if we can use a paper cup so they can recycle that, as opposed to using a china cup, which they put in the dishwasher. So if I'd been here earlier, anyway, I would have had it. So I'm not going to dock marks this time for it, because it's my own fault for getting here late. Right, should we do a coffee tasting? Sounds good to me. So, you can tell we're in central London. We've got the police going quite nicely. Now, I've gone for the drink only. Jaden, who's with me, who's doing a fantastic job with the camera, had a flapjack. Give us a nod or a shake. What was the flapjack like? Was it good? So give us a nod or a shake with the camera so we know. Lovely. Okay, so we take that was a good flapjack. Excellent. So the food bit's been done. Jaden's done that. We're not scoring it, as we don't ever do. Now, just as a reminder, our mission is to bring the best coffee places in London to you, so you don't have to suffer with Starbucks, Costa Coffee, Cafe Nero and the big chains. We want to find the independent places, the really good independent places. So if you're coming to London, you don't have to go, oh, I wonder where you can go for a coffee. We've done that work for you. And my word, what a job it is that I have to do to come and test the coffee on a regular basis. Anyway, that gives you an idea. At over 2.5 minutes into the video, should we do a coffee tasting? Why not? Always makes me laugh. Right, okay, so as you can see, the coffee's got a slight film on it. It is still very hot, but we're going to give it a go. If all of a sudden the camera stops and comes back again, that's because I've actually burnt my mouth and I've gone running off for water, okay? So, but I'm hoping that's not going to be the case. So here we go. Let's go for the aroma first. So we're going to mark it out of our 5 normal aspects, score out at 25. So for the aroma, which is our first bit, now that has a very, I can really smell the fruit in that, taking that in, but I can also smell vanilla. No, I didn't ask for vanilla, it's a normal black Americano, but I've gone, yeah, you can really smell the beans, and smell the fruit from the beans, but there's a slight trace of vanilla in that, so that'll be interesting. So aroma, it's different, and it's quite a sweet aroma. I'm going to give that a 4. Okay, so we're off to a flying start. That already beats our worst ones that we've tasted, which, if I remember rightly, is Selfridges and one over at Westfield. We only gave those 3, so there you go, 1 mark. Beating that alone. Right, let's now go for the acidity. Now, the good news is I haven't had to go running off for water. It's still hot, but it's... What I'm getting is I'm really getting the fruit from those beans, from the coffee beans. That is just gorgeous. In fact, I'm going to go for it again. Now, acidity-wise, that's quite interesting. There's hardly any acidity whatsoever. In fact, if it wasn't for the taste of that fruity taste that they've got there, and maybe that's what they try to do with the coffee, I would actually say this is going to be a ropey coffee. But it's not, because the beans make it, or the fruit from the coffee beans actually make it quite interesting. Certainly one that you want to go back to and just try again for that purpose alone. Right. So there's nothing coating the tongue at all. There really isn't any acidity. Sweetness, I'll give you that, because it's that fruit beer. So sweetness, I'm going to give it a 4. Acidity, I'm going to give it a 2. Which is really weird. It's the first time that I've found an acidity one being the polar opposite of the sweetness. It's really strange. So 4 and a 2, that gives us 10 so far out of the possible 15 marks, and I'm doing that because I'm trying to remind myself, and also the cameraman's giving me the evils that I make sure I remember this bit here, because he's also trying to add it up. So we're on 10 so far. Right, next bit we're going to go for, this is your favourite bit, let's go for the body. Now the body, if I swirl it, I'm not going to swirl it too much because as you can see it's quite full. And actually, do you know what, it's not the weakest, but it's certainly not the strongest. I'd say that's pretty average for a coffee on that one. Yeah, as you can see, it's there, but it's not that full-bodied as I would like it, and I was expecting my black Americano. So, as far as that's concerned, I'm going to give that a 3. I'm going to give that a 3 on that one, which, okay. So we're now riding on 13 on that. Just going to give that again. Do you know what? If it wasn't for that sweetness that makes you come back, and it's really funny because I don't like sugar in my coffee, but it's just that tang of the sweetness. I have to find out what beans these are. Then I would probably put it down and go, do you know what, that's just a really poor coffee. Now, there's a couple of bits here that I would also say in its favour. One, it's sacred ground. So I think this is a charity, and judging by the space that they've got and the area they've got and it's associated with the church, I would guess it is. So actually, do you know what? As a place doing this in central London, amazing. As a little find for a coffee shop, also for the aspect of the area that it's in, and also for the outside bit, I think that's also bang on as well. So absolutely delighted with that. So I think absolute kudos to you guys. For coffee itself, I think just with a bit more acidity and maybe a different bean taste, that would take it to the next mark, and this would make this a really good find. Would I come over here over going to Starbucks, Costa and all the rest of it? Too right, I would without a doubt. Okay, and we haven't even done with the finish yet. Now the finish, now that's going to be an interesting one. But from what I've said so far, you think, where's he going to put the finish? So the first question I always ask myself, is this a coffee I want to finish? And you know from watching this channel, there are coffees that I've absolutely almost spat out and gone no chance. To be honest, I wouldn't even wash my socks in them. This is a coffee I want to finish, so yes, it's a positive, there's no doubt about it. Is it one I come rushing back for if I found another place in London to go to? Probably not. Is it one I bring people to because actually it's a really good vibe and a good venue? Yeah, definitely. Do you know what? For the finish, I'm gonna plump down the middle on that one at a 3. So I'm going to plump down the middle for a 3 on that one, which, thank you very much to my good cameraman Jaden, gives us a total score of 16. So 16 out of 25. Now, a 20 and above is an amazing coffee. A 15 to 19 is still a pretty good coffee, okay? It's still pretty good. I would say anything below 15 is a bleh coffee, and anything below 10, below 5, forget. So I would say it's still a pretty good coffee. Would I come back? Yeah, I will. No doubt about it. If I find myself in Soho and I'm looking for a coffee, unless I found something else, of course, I would certainly come back. But I think the other bit about it is the whole place. And actually, if we scope round, we're out in the garden at the moment, and it's, early autumn, we're shooting this, and it's quite nice. You've got the area, it feels really airy, and it's a really nice place to come. So actually, I'm really, really pleased we've discovered this. So sacred grounds, you certainly get 16 out of 25 for your coffee. But actually, I love the concept, and I love the place, and I love the area that it is. So I'm absolutely delighted. So really, really pleased on that one. And great to be here. So hope you've enjoyed our coffee tasting. Don't forget, if you're coming to London, want to do a coffee tasting with me, just let me know in the comments down below and we can see if our diaries will connect. It'd be amazing to see you for a coffee tasting and try a different place. And I'm going to leave you with a coffee tasting that we did up in the top right-hand corner. Now, this is one of those places that I mentioned earlier, and I may have given the game away, but if not, anyway, have a look. This is Selfridges, okay? This is Selfridges. So you'd think you've got Harrods, which is a really good department store. You've got Fortnum & Mason, which is a top-notch one. We haven't done Fortnum & Mason yet. We have done Harrods. But Selfridges is another one of those renowned department stores. So what do you think the coffee's like? Have a look at this video. That'll tell you all about it. Thanks for watching, guys. Catch you soon. Bye.